Hi everyone and welcome back to our Kart series. In the last episodes we worked on the Kart AI, but now we're going to start the race properly with them as we need to keep track of who is in first, second and third place. So let's go ahead and take a look at how we can achieve this. Okay, so the theory behind this is that we can get the progress a position is on the spline. And if we got that progress, we can add that on top of the laps they've done to work out how far along they are along the race. So that's what we're going to do. So each of these cars, as they go through, are going to be keeping track of their position. So I'm going to go to the kart here. And on the kart, I'm going to get rid of this print string here for a second, as we'll be replacing that in a second. We want to get the progress they've made on the course. So on the functions here, we're going to do get course progress. And much like how we have done things like the laps and getting them to actually move around the track, we need the track itself and we need the laps as well. And the first thing we'll do is get the progress along this track spline. We can get the distance along the spline by dragging out from our spline, typing in the word distance, and you can get the distance along the spline at location. Okay. Now the location, though, is going to come from the nearest point. So once again, we're going to drag out from our spline. Nearest, it'd be closest, I think, isn't it? Yep, closest. Find location closest to world location on the spline. And the world location could be the actor's location. And we're going to change that to world space there. And put this in. Oh, it could be actually either. As long as these two match, it can be local or world. It don't really matter too much. And that's going to give us the distance that the person has travelled, the kart rather, has travelled along that spline. And we're going to take that and add it on top of the laps they've done as well. So we're going to take out our float here, add on our laps, and on get course progress, we're going to return that sum there. And because we're just doing a get, we're not doing any changes, not citing anything, we are going to make this a pure function as well. You don't have to make it pure, but I like making things pure. Okay, so on get course progress, we're going to drag this out, and now we get a return value. So let's print out our string here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to be 0. So you only see one copy of this on the screen. But of course, we've got multiple karts going on. So what I want to do is I'm going to change the text color here based upon what kart number they are or what kart they are. So on the variables, I'm going to add a new variable in here. We'll call it debug color. There we go. Oh. Fix that up. And we're going to, oh, I've got to actually change the type. Let's change that type to color, linear color. And I'm going to plug in a text color there. And with debug color here, I'm going to make that instance editable. And the default of this is going to be that blue. Okay. So the player is going to be this blue. The other AI carts will make different colors. So with that done, I'm going to go back into my world and I'm going to set each cart, go to the details panel and change the debug color. So we're going to make this one like red, orange, whatever. Purple. And we'll make this one more green. Okay. So now, as I go through, we're going to get their distance along that spline there. Now, at the moment, what it's doing is taking the distance and actually giving us a hard distance. But what I want to do is I want to get it as a percentage of the travel around that track. So let's go ahead and do that. Get course progress, get distance along the spline, and I want to get the percentage they've made along that spline. So I'm going to take this and divide that by the length of the spline. Okay. And now you can see in the top left-hand corner, it's keeping track of their progress they've made. So I'm currently in 3rd place, which looks correct because there's one there and there's another one there. Now 2nd. Oh, he's bugged out. We'll have to fix that. But there we go. My little light blue one doing okay. Guess that's the purple one that's stuck. I don't think I can catch up to the other guy. There you go. I'm ahead now. Okay. So we can keep track of their position around the track. So obviously there's that information, but we now need to get that out and put it on the screen as are you 1st, 2nd, or 3rd sort of position. We have to order them. So what we're going to do is go to our UI and we're going to go to the menu here and create a new widget blueprint. And we're going to do it track, W, track, position. And we'll make another one for the slot. Track, position, slot. Now, whenever you're making widgets that have like a list of things or a table of things, you want to ideally make it at least 2 types of widgets. One would be like the container for it, and the other one will be the slot for it, and the individual slot. So the slot would be like the cart name or player name going through there. So all I'm doing in track position here, just to keep track of what we're doing here, is I'm going to have a border and just make it use the color from the cart. So this is going to be assigned to a cart. So we're going to go to event construct and on the variables here, cart, BP cart, drag this out and get that debug color we're using. And I'll make it color this border based upon that. Set color. Yeah. Okay. So there's that one. Now, next up, we've got to put that all into the track position tracker. The track position here is going to be a vertical box. In this case, anyway. That is variable. Position table. Call it that. And what we need to do is make a function on here to allow us to add new carts to the position table. Okay, so on construct, it's going to just generate all the carts on here. So we need to create a function, add cart. And in here, we're going to create a widget. We're going to choose our track position slot. And, oh, I forgot to make it exposed on spawn. Hold on. Cart, editable, expose on spawn. I'll refresh this now. It's there. And that's going to be an input. So when we go to add cart, when we call that function, it's going to add it onto the function parameters here. And when we create the slot, we're going to add it to position table, but as well as keeping track of an array. So I'm going to make an array of these track position slot widgets. So cart array. And this would be track position slot and make it an array. Add to it there. Okay, once we've got that, we're now going to add it to our table. Add. And we're going to add there. child. There you go. And I'm going to put in our return value there. So when we call add cart, we're going to create the slot, add it to an array, and then add it to the table. And all this is going to happen when we start the game up. So this is going to get called from the carts themselves. So when they get added to the screen, they're going to add themselves to the game here. Alternatively, actually, we could do it this way too. We could also go on the event graph and on a construct is we can get all actors of class and choose the cart. And then for each one of these, we're going to add it to the add cart function. So you could do it that way, or you could do it from the other way where you're doing the carts up. This isn't too bad doing this way because this will only happen once right at the start, and it'll probably happen during a load screen. Just okay. Okay, so that's our cart setup, and we're going to add that to the table. Next up is adding the actual table to the screen. So I'm going to go to the HUD here, and we're going to do track position, and I'm going to put in the top right here, like that. Something like that. Okay, so let's just see if that adds it all to the screen first of all. There they are. They're all added very thin. We can fix it up in a second, but they are. Okay, so let's just make them a bit wider. I'm just going to go into here. And there's a size box to it, I think. A bit of height override of, say, 50. Okay. And there are the track position counter on the top there. Now, we need to fix the physics. There's now the next job is to make these things swap around and move around based upon what position they actually are in regards to their values. So there's the first part of keeping track of the player position or kart positions during the race. So the next part, we're going to make these things swap around and move around. And there's a couple of ways you can do this. One thing you could do is just change the colors of the individual slot, the information that's in the slot, or you can actually move them around, move up and down. It's up to you really which way you want to go. But we're going to go the route of moving them actually around rather than just swapping the details inside each one. So you can watch the next episode right now over on patreon.com/Ryan Laley, where you can find all my videos early before everyone else from just $1 a month. Massive thank you to all our patrons and YouTube members for their continued support. Thank you for watching. Make sure you stay subscribed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.